Okay, friends, today we are going to see inventory management. This is a part of your working capital management, and how to manage inventory is one of them. So, what we are going to see from today's session, why inventories are required, what is what should be the order quantity, that is the EOQ model, economic order quantity model. At what point, at what quantity should we order again, that is known as the order point, pricing of raw material and valuation of stocks, monitoring and control of inventories, criteria for judging the inventory system, and inventory management in practice. So these are the various topics, the various concepts that we are going to see in today's session. Now, why do we need inventory? So why a corporate house or a manufacturing unit needs inventory? So process or movement in inventories are required because it takes time to complete a process or operation and to move products from one stage to another. Basically, when you are buying raw material is also a part of inventory. Inventory can be your raw materials, can be your semi-finished goods, or can be your finished goods not sold. So all these parts can be termed as inventory. Now, how these inventories are created or are required? So, process or movement are required because it takes time to complete a process or operation. Basically, when you take in the raw material it immediately in zero time span cannot become a finished good. So, you need to add values in that raw material, and that needs time. Face to face, it may be face to face, it may be at one single point of time, at one single point of place, the value may get added. Whereas in number of products, the value addition process goes on from one point to another point, one from another to the third point, from one time to another time, and from one phase to another phase. So completing a product, making it ready for sale, needs time. Conversion of raw material, adding values to that raw material, and then making it a finished goods available for sale. So this entire thing needs time. So during this time phase, your product moves from one stage to another. Organization inventories are maintained to widen the latitude in planning and scheduling successive operations. Now, if you do not have inventories on hand, if you do not have raw materials on hand, if you do not have semi-finished goods or work-in process goods on hand, your scheduling of operations will not be proper. For example, you need to work for the entire 30 days. So you should plan your entire 30 days in such a way that every day you are working. On one day you worked a lot and you take a rest of 3 days. So that creates a loss. That creates a backup also, backlog also. So it's better for a successive operations, for a good operations, there should be a successive scheduling of your entire production process, entire inventories, and then only your inventories from phase to phase get converted into a finished goods. Now, EOQ model, economic order quantity model. See, whenever you are ordering for raw materials, as we've seen yesterday, the Baumol model as well as the Miller and Orr model. Remember that in Miller and Orr model, there was a return point. In the same way, for ordering quantities, you need a certain point at which you can be able to reorder the goods or services. So this is how much units should we order at a certain point of time is known as economic order quantity. Because if let's say for example you receive an order of manufacturing 100 units of pen, And for that, you need to bring some raw materials into your company or in your production unit. You are asking the supplier to supply only raw materials for 100 units. And after one day, you again receive an order of another 100 units. So again, you will be demanding for transporting 100 units of raw material from a supplier. So here transportation cost becomes 2 times. But if it is possible that if you can bring the orders, the raw materials from the supplier's point to your point of production unit, let's say for example some 1000 units, but it's good because your transportation cost remains same whether you're transporting 100 units or 1000 units. It is being assumed. So in that case, your transportation cost will get reduced to one time only rather than incurring it for 10 times. If you're receiving 10 orders, you're always of 100 unit each, you're always ordering 100 units raw materials. 10 times you will have to pay that transportation cost. So to bring down that respective cost, we should understand what quantity we should order, and that is what is known as economic order quantity. And this is the formula for economic order quantity, that is 2FU divided by PC. Now 2 times F is the cost per order. That is transportation cost in our example, what I said right now. It's a cost per order. U is the annual usage or demand. So when you know that you are going to receive 100,000 units of demand in a certain period of time, let's say for 1 year, it's better to ask a supplier to send you raw material for 100 units. That will reduce your cost per order. That will reduce your cost per transaction also. C is the percent carrying cost and P is the price per unit. So by putting all these values in the formula, we'll find out how many units you should demand or you should order at a certain point of time. Behavior of inventory related cost. Now the issues that is, when you are ordering too much amount of goods, to reduce a transportation cost or other cost to be bared by, at that point of time your carrying cost increases. Carrying cost is maybe your store cost, maybe the time period for which you hold that respective level of raw materials on hand, that fund got blocked. So all those costs can be a carrying cost. Now, if you'll order more quantities, you're able to see here, if you're ordering more quantities, your ordering cost is reducing. But when you are ordering more quantity, your carrying cost increase. And by the help of these two, your total cost will be like this. So your total cost is this. Wherever your total cost is minimum and these two things, ordering cost and carrying cost, are intersecting, that respective point can be termed as EOQ. This is what Baumol model has taught to us yesterday, that your carrying cost and your total cost trade off to each other. Your carrying cost and your ordering cost trade off to each other. So at a certain point where your ordering cost is equal to your carrying cost and the total cost is minimum, that respective point should be known as EOQ point. Order point. Now, generally, we know at home also we follow this respective strategy. It's not about only big companies. Even at home, we used to follow such kind of things. So when you are about to, let's say, for example, uh, as if the summer is going on, and if you want to give an order for a thumbs up or any cold drink, and you find that there is only one bottle in your fridge, in your refrigerator, you immediately rush to the nearby store and buy another one. So that there should be at least two bottles available or at least one bottle available. If there is a one bottle, I will bring another one. That is known as a reorder or order point. So if the usage rate of raw material and the lead time for procurement are known with certainty, then the ordering level would be simply lead times in days for procurement multiplied by average daily usage. Lead time is the time consumed consumed between the order given and the raw material received, that respective time. So if you are supposed to place an order to some supplier, to a supplier who is there in Mumbai, and for supplying goods from Mumbai to Gujarat, or let's say to Kadi or to Ahmedabad, it takes some 5-6 days. So you should know what is a lead time. and multiplied by your average daily usage, whatever the average daily usage of goods and services you are consuming. When you will multiply these two, you will find what amount of goods should be there at that point of time. You should immediately order your requirement to your supplier. When the usage rate and the lead time are likely to vary, the reorder level should be normal consumption plus safety stock. Safety stock is a stock that can be used when the order is about to receive or not yet received at that point. So normal consumption plus safety stock will be your reorder level when your usage rate and lead time is not known to you, or maybe it may vary compared to the previous one. When it is known, it is very simple. It is lead times in days for procurement multiplied by average daily usage. When these two things are not known to you, you can go for normal consumption plus safety stock. Pricing of raw materials, the important method of pricing. Yes, you can keep your mic on mute mode, friends, so that will not create any disturbance in the session. The important method of pricing inventories used for production are FIFO, that is first in, first out. The material which is issued first is priced on the basis of the cost of material received earliest, so on and so forth. So if you are following a FIFO method, you know that is first in, first out. The material that you are receiving first will be utilized first, and according to the price of the material can be calculated on the base of the cost that incurred on first lot compared to the second lot. Weighted average cost method. Weighted average cost method, material used and are priced at the weighted average cost of materials in stock. So it will be weighted average cost, like order 1 received, order 2 received, order 3 received. So weightage of all these three and its average, it is known as a weighted average cost. So your price of the all the raw materials will be divided into weighted average, and the average cost will be calculated while calculating the price of material. Treatment of fixed manufacturing cost, how these fixed manufacturing costs are being treated. So direct costing, fixed manufacturing overhead costs are treated as period cost and not product cost. Hence, they are not reflected in inventory valuation. Whereas absorption costing, fixed manufactures are treated as product or inventoriable cost. These are the two different costing methods. Direct costing, fixed manufacturing overhead costs are treated as period cost. It is consumed in a certain period of time. It total cost for that respective time period, and it is not a product cost. And in that way, they are not included in the inventory valuation. Whereas absorption costing takes into consideration a fixed manufacturing cost, and they treat it as a product or an inventoriable cost. So if you are following absorption costing method, you will be calculating, you are taking into consideration your fixed manufacturing cost, and if you are utilizing a direct costing method, you're not going to take your fixed manufacturing overhead cost into consideration, as it is a period cost, and that's why it will not reflect in valuation of inventory. Now if you'll see here, graph of cumulative percentage of items and cumulative percentage of usage. So this is percentage of usage, and this is percentage of items. If more items, more goods are being manufactured, their usage at a certain point will increase, and then it will increase at a flow rate. Just-in-time inventory control. It's a very famous method which is being followed for inventory control management system. The just-in-time control system implies that the firm should maintain a minimum level of inventory and rely on suppliers to provide parts and components just in time to meet its assembly requirements. Basically, when we talk about companies like Walmart, they used to follow this respective system. So whenever they find that the inventory is about to come to an end, the suppliers immediately supply the goods that is being required, and the main advantage to companies like Walmart is that the carrying cost and the ordering cost both get reduced. So this may be contrasted with the traditional inventory management system, which calls for maintaining a healthy level of safety stock to provide a reasonable protection against uncertainties of consumption and the supply. The traditional system may be referred as just-in-case system. The traditional inventory management system says that you should have enough amount of raw materials, enough amount of inventories on hand, so that if certain kind of uncertainty takes place, you should not run out of your stock, and you can consume that respective stock to produce your goods or services. So this is referred to be just in case system, whereas just in time system says once you reach to your respective lowest level of your inventory level, your inventors or your suppliers should immediately provide you those respective things, that goods or services that is required. So just in time. Program of inventory monitoring and control, exercise of vigilance against imbalance of raw material and working process, which tends to limit the utility of stocks. So the imbalance of raw material and working process should be reduced. This will limit the utility of stocks, that will reduce the utilization of stocks to a certain extent. Vigorous efforts to expedite completion of unfinished production jobs to get them into saleable condition. So what one should do in any case, if certain products are not yet finished, not yet completed the production cycle, those respective quantities should be processed immediately to complete the production cycle. They become a complete or finished product and they are ready for sale now. So that is known as a saleable condition. Active disposal of goods that are surplus, obsolete or unusable. What one should do? There are many goods and services which are absolute, which are not required, and they are unusable also. So in that case, such kind of assets, such kind of goods or services should be disposed immediately of. Challenge in design to maximize the use of standard parts and components which are flexible, which are available off the shelf. So the companies used to nowadays the days, they're changing the design to maximize the use of standard parts compare to available off the shelf parts. Strict adherence to production schedule. You should not change your production schedule at any cost. If it is being defined that it should be available on so and so date, then it should be available on that respective date only. Spatial pricing to dispose the unusually slow moving items. If there are goods and services which are not being sold in such a high volumes, then such kind of product should be sold off by giving some unusual discounts or pricings, unusual pricing for that respective product. Evening out of seasonal sales fluctuations to the extent possible. So if seasonal sales fluctuations are taking place, you should try to increase your sales as much as possible during that point of time. Inventory management in India. The most commonly used tools for inventory management in India are ABC analysis, FSN, that is fast moving, slow moving and non-moving analysis, and inventory turnover analysis. So these are the analysis part, that is ABC analysis, FSN analysis, and inventory turnover analysis. Inventory management in India can be improved by effective computerization, review of classification, improved coordination, development of long-term relationships, and disposal of absolute surplus inventory, and adoption of challenging norms. So these are the things that we need to keep in mind, that in India, it can be improved only when we are utilizing the effective computerizations. Classification should be done in a proper way. Coordination should be good. Long-term relationships should be developed among the various team members of the company as well as with the stakeholders. Long-term relationship should be developed with your suppliers and debtors both, and disposable of absolute or surplus inventories. So you can dispose of your absolute or surplus inventories, and as they are not required in your business or companies right now, so it's better to dispose. And this is how it comes to an end. Inventories represent a very significant proportion of the total assets. We are summarizing the chapter. A distinction may be drawn between process or movement inventories and organization inventories. This is how you can be able to calculate the EOQ to under root 2 FU divided by PC. F is the total number of order and U is the ordering cost. U is the annual usage. P and C are the cost incurred for carrying cost. So reorder point may be determined by the following formula, that is SL plus under root SRL, that is slack time and reorder level. FIFO method and weighted average cost method are commonly used for pricing inventories. ABC analysis advocates a selective approach to inventory control, and the most commonly used tool of inventory management in India are ABC analysis, FSN analysis, and inventory turnover analysis. And this chapter comes to an end. If you have any queries,